Good afternoon, folks. Now, discussion B this afternoon is about juggling work duties and caregiving for elderly older adults. Here we go with the presentation I made. Please sit back and enjoy the presentation. Okay? Here we go. Explanation of the sentence in the article context. Core meaning. The line says that demographic change is creating new needs at work. As more Americans grow older, a larger share of employees must provide care for aging relatives, and they are increasingly asking employers for help. How the surrounding article supports that point. Demographic driver. The piece frames the trend around the aging U.S. population and uses individual examples to show how common elder care needs have become. Scale and daily burden. It highlights that millions of adults are unpaid caregivers while also working, and that caregiving often requires many hours per day, which conflicts with standard full-time schedules. Employer response. The article describes employers beginning to offer or expand caregiving benefits, such as paid caregiving leave, flexible schedules, and referral or navigation services. Because these supports help employees stay employed and productive. Why this matters for workers and employers. For workers, access to caregiver benefits reduces financial and emotional strain, prevents burnouts, and makes it feasible to keep a job while meeting family care responsibilities. For employers, offering caregiver supports helps retain experienced staff, lowers absenteeism, and can be framed as a competitive benefit in hiring and retention. Broader implications. The article treats workplace caregiver benefits as part of a larger social shift. Families are shouldering more long-term care needs, and employers are becoming a key part of the solution. That reframes benefits design from a perk to a strategic necessity for many organizations. If you want, I can turn this into a one-size summary, a short memo for HR or a few talking points for a meeting. Okay, folks, now here's the second part of the presentation I made for you. Please enjoy. Expansion of the headline and context. Core meaning. The phrase from workforce to care force is doing more than offering clever play on words. It's naming a profound demographic and economic shift. It suggests that a growing share of the labor force is being pulled willingly or not into unpaid caregiving roles. The companion line, caregiving, responsibilities cause more women to step away from their careers. Makes the trend explicit. Women are disproportionately exiting paid employment because the demands of caring for children, aging parents, or other loved ones have intensified beyond the current workplace structures and can accommodate. This isn't framed as a matter of personal preference. It's it, it's presented as a systematic pattern shaped by policy gaps, economic pressures, and cultural expectations. How the surrounding article supports the claim: data showing large exits and caregiving as a top reason. The, the report highlighting the hundreds of thousands of women have have left the workforce in recent years, and caregiving consistently ranks among the top reasons. These aren't isolated anecdotes. They're part of a measurable, accelerating trend that spans industries and income levels. Survey evidence linking lack of workplace flexibility to departures. Women who left their jobs were far more likely to have worked in environments with rigid schedules, limited remote options, or no formal caregiving benefits. The article underscores that when workplaces fail to adapt, women who shoulder the majority of unpaid care are the ones pushed out. Cost and time pressures make paid work unsustainable for many caregivers. The surrounding content emphasizes that caregiving is not just emotionally demanding, it's financially and logistically overwhelming. Raising children's raising child uh, rising child care costs, the scarcity of affordable elder care, and the sheer number of hours required each week make it nearly impossible for many women to maintain full time employment without meaningful supports. Why women are disproportionately affected. Gendered care roles. Despite decades of progress, women still perform the majority of unpaid caregiving in American households. When care needs spike, whether due to aging parents, disability, or childcare disruptions, women are the ones most likely to scale back or leave paid work entirely. Occupational and schedule constraints. Women are overrepresented in roles with lower pay, fewer benefits, and less schedule autonomy. These structural realities mean that when caregiving demands rise, women often have fewer viable options to stay employed without sacrificing the quality of care their families need. Cultural expectations and invisible labor. The article hints at the broader cultural backdrop. Women are still expected to figure it out, absorbing the emotional and logistical load of caregiving in ways that remain unvalued and unsupported. Implications the article highlights for workers. Stepping out of the workforce, even temporarily, can have lifelong consequences. Lost wages, stalled career progression, diminished retirement savings, and reduced long term financial security. The article frames these exits not as individual setbacks, but as structural failures that disproportionately harm women. For employers and labor markets, the trend represents a significant loss of talent, institutional knowledge, and productivity. The article argues that employers who invest in caregiver supports, flexible scheduling, paid caregiving leave, backup care, and navigation services are better positioned to retain experienced staff and reduce costly turnover. for the economy. Women, when large numbers of women leave the workforce, the ripple effects tend to extend far beyond individual households. Labor shortages deepen, economic growth slows, and gender equity gaps widen. Short takeaway. The headline captures a pivotal shift as caregiving demands intensify. Women are being pushed out of paid work at scale, not because they want to leave, but because workplaces and public systems have not evolved to meet the realities of modern caregiving. The surrounding reporting uses fresh data and lived experience to show that this is a structural challenge with profound implications for families, employers, and the broader economy. Okay, guys, that's B for you. I will be back on with you shortly. For now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.